Hello guys, my name is Amit Saini. I welcome you again on StudyIQ, and a great response which I got yesterday on my videos, that I want to tell you that you people are so amazing, and that is my best experience in my teaching for the last 2-3 years. And the way you people respond, you are so active, consistent, effective, interactive, and all these qualities of sincerity, consistency that I checked on the videos. Whole lot of videos I saw, and the way you suggested me a lot of suggestions, and the way you were talking about the video and the content and the issues, the knowledge. Now I'm totally excited to impart my knowledge, whatever I have, whatever potential knowledge or the experience I have. Now I'm totally in this mood that I give my best on this platform. And one small issue is that maximum number of suggestions were like that. Just make this video short, okay, around 30 to 35 minutes they were asking for that. But I will totally accepting this, okay. There is no issue, and I will accept that thing. I will make this video short for 35 to 40 minutes thing. But one simple proposal from my side is that the extra knowledge, the extra information, the background information, the context, and the related bodies and all, or any kind of scheme or something like that I'm discussing with it. So that's why I'm paying attention to every word, every line. That's why it is taking time. Otherwise I'm speaking with a good pace. So I want to cover the maximum content in this video. So maybe it will be very much annoying for you people. It is taking 5 to 10 more minutes, but I'm telling you, in the examination hall you will say thanks to me, because the information that we are covering in this video, that is going to be extremely helpful for all of you people, okay. So today is the second class. After that, if you still feel that make this video short within 30 minutes limit, then I will certainly do that. There is no problem, okay. Or if you think that this video is okay, the knowledge is important, and there should be no compromise with the content, with the extra information, then we are moving with it as the way it is now. I'm giving you the answer for the last MCQs that I discussed yesterday. MCQ 1, choose the correct regarding FCTC, the Framework Convention on the Tobacco Control, the WHO convention. In this, you see, India is a signatory. It is not the first legally binding treaty. It is the first universal health treaty negotiated by UN, okay, but it is not the first legally binding treaty. Pay attention to the line that is saying something. So it is wrong. It is also wrong. It prohibits the manufacturing of tobacco. It is also wrong, because it is not prohibiting totally. It is saying that make some changes, don't put attractive labels on that, and simple packaging should be there. So that's the thing. So answer would be D, none. Second question, India has its second longest border with Bangladesh. No, India is having the longest border with Bangladesh. 4096 kilometer boundary is there. 80 kilometers is the shortest boundary with Afghanistan, and that also in the POK area, in the Gilgit-Baltistan area of Kashmir. So that's the thing. So longest border we are sharing with Bangladesh, although it looks smaller, but it is very huge. Second, length of the Brahmaputra is more in India, that's right, which enters Bangladesh crossing border from the state of Meghalaya. It is wrong. It is not entering crossing the border of Meghalaya. It is crossing the border of Assam towards Bangladesh, where it is called Jamuna. So that's why this option is wrong. And the first one is also wrong. Third one, Mizoram is surrounded by Bangladesh from 3 sides. No, it is wrong, because Tripura is surrounded by 3 sides in Bangladesh, okay. This is Tripura, and this is Bangladesh, and this is India. Here this is Assam and all these areas. So you can say easily about this. Now see, all 3 options are wrong. So D, none would be the answer. Next question, regarding the Palestine. As I told you, Palestine was voted as a member state of UNESCO. That's why UN and Israel, they both are quitting UNESCO. That's why it's a member of UNESCO. That's right. It's a latest member state of UN. It is wrong, because it is not a recognized member nation in the United Nations, okay. They don't consider it as a country, Palestine. But Israel is a country, so it is a wrong option. Third is, the capital is Tel Aviv. No, there is no capital. Tel Aviv is the important city of Israel country, okay. And controversial capital of Israel is Jerusalem. And Tel Aviv is the important city where all these embassies and all these are present, because they don't allow these embassies to be settled there in the city of Jerusalem. So that's the thing. Tel Aviv is located on the western coast, which is opening in the Mediterranean Ocean. Okay, so that's the thing. So one only would be the correct answer here. Fourth one regarding G20, India is a member of G20 and the summit happened in Buenos Aires in South America. It's an important city. So D9 would be the right answer here. Now we are going to discuss some important news here. Bill to allow voluntary use of Aadhaar ID introduced. You see, Supreme Court gave this judgment its verdict that it would not be mandatory to submit our Aadhaar ID to these mobile companies and the banks. It is not mandatory at all because it is inconsistent with the provisions of the privacy factor. Okay, that is enshrined in the constitution. It is given to us, so there is no privacy maintained. There can be leaks, so that's why it is not mandatory. But still, government is giving a lot of arguments, positive arguments, and that's why they are proposing a bill where voluntary seeding of biometric Aadhaar ID with mobile numbers and bank accounts that would be done. Okay, so it is not mandatory, it is voluntary. That's the thing. So regarding that, the bill is coming. Next, UK Sinha, you remember it, he was the chairman of SEBI, the Security Exchange Board of India, the regulator body for these stock exchanges and all. Okay, so now UK Sinha is to head RBI panel on MSME revival, the micro, small and medium enterprises. They are in some kind of misery because the trouble is that they were hit by demonetization first, after that GST implementation. Okay, so in both these implementations, MSME was the sector which was hurt badly, very badly, and the biggest trouble that any sector saw, that was MSME sector. That's why the revival is very, very important. And you see, this is the election year and major number of population is working in these MSMEs. That's why government is paying attention to them right now. And now 8-member committee will submit report in June and UK Sinha would be the chairman of this committee. Okay, so double whammy, that is the demonetization and the GST, that is the thing. Next question is regarding the Arunachal Pradesh tribes. The notification is not very much important to us, but exam wise these tribes, their names, okay, they are very, very important. They are going to ask us that which state is related to these particular tribes. I told you yesterday the Damam Hills, Dafla, Miri, Abor and Mishmi, and between the Abor and Mishmi, the Brahmaputra is entering as Siang in India. Okay, in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Now in these hilly areas, and apart from that, you must have heard about the Zero Valley, the hidden valley where the book was published regarding the Angami tribe. So these tribes are living in these hill areas of Arunachal Pradesh, and they may ask you that whether they are associated with these hills. They may put all these names, and they may ask you directly by the simple question that these are related to which state. So these are the states: the Wancho, Tutsa, Tangsa, Abor, Khamti, Tai Khamti. That would be the name, that is a revised name. So that is the order, and they will be given all the benefits of scheduled tribes and all that. That's the thing. Next, we need to the UP population need to pay a cess for cow sheds in UP. People are getting killed. People are lynching, mobs are killing police inspectors, normal people, and now people have to pay the cess to the government for funding of these cow sheds. That's a great thing. Now the Kashmir Valley snowfall that has happened, although it's a very, very simple news, but western disturbances are the main reason. You see the pressure belt systems, when the ITCZ, that's a band on the equator 5 degree north and south, that shifts northward in the month of June, around June, and in the month of December it is on the Tropic of Capricorn. That's why when these pressure belts, they are shifted on the south, that's why the westerlies which are blowing between 40 to 50 degree north and south latitudes, they reach up to India and the parts of northwest areas located to Delhi. This is Delhi here, and this is Haryana, Rajasthan, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir. So in these areas, west to 75 degree longitude, out of these western disturbances, out of these westerlies, they pick up humidity from the Mediterranean Ocean and they bring rains to these areas. Okay, so because of that these happen. So that's the thing. Next, Punjab has given a cabinet note for the smartphones to youth That's a great thing. They are very lucky people, though they are getting phones. Now, Taiwan's unification with China is inevitable, says Z. They are taking a very aggressive stance regarding that, the annexation of the autonomous region of Taiwan. Taiwan is not a recognized country, it's an autonomous region, but they say that we are Republic of China, and main China is People's Republic of China, PRC. So PRC and ROC, two countries. Till 70s, in the Security Council, it was ROC only, not PRC. PRC dominated after 70s, after 71, when this ROC was expelled by this resolution. And each year since 1992, ROC has petitioned the UN for entry, but its application have not made it passed committee. Okay, it is not a recognized country now, it's an autonomous region, and for that now China is saying consistently that there is a one China policy. It is one China. There is no autonomous region like Tibet or something like that, Taiwan. We are all a country, a People's Republic of China, but they are saying, the people from the leadership from Taiwan is saying that there is no democratic freedom on the mainland China that we are enjoying here, and we are never going to be integrated with mainland China. We are Republic of China and we are the main country. We have a claim on total China land. So that's the thing, because it was ROC, but PRC became after 70s. You see the location here, this is South China Sea, and this is Taiwan autonomous island here, and this is Henan province, and these are the states, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and all these the Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, all these countries are there. Okay, so this is the area on the world map. You can see here, this is the area, Indochina area, and Taiwan is here. From here the Japan is coming in this side, and this is Vietnam here. So it's a very controversial area, and we all know that partly island issues and all these happened in the South China Sea, and China is having consistently a very aggressive stand. So that's why this becomes very important. Now this, out of this one China policy, they are saying Taiwan is our part. Formerly this Taiwan was known as Formosa. Dutch and Spanish colonies were here in 17th century. Okay, when they make colonies in India also at that time, Spanish were not here, but Dutch came here in India. Okay, in Andaman Nicobar, in some areas they captured some colonies, and at the same time they captured China region also. So there was a thing, and then in 1683 Qing dynasty took this area. Okay, that was the last dynasty of China, and from this Qing dynasty Japan took it in 1895 after the Sino-Japanese War, and after this Taiwan was under Japanese rule. The Republic of China, ROC, as that is called China, Taiwan, okay, was established on the mainland in 1912. So it was established on mainland China as ROC, but after that they were expelled. There was mass exodus, and they were limited, confined to this island area, where today this island area is having the 99% territory of this ROC. Otherwise it was total China first. Okay, now see, Japanese surrendered to the Allies in 1945, and ROC took control of Taiwan. Okay, the mainland China was ROC at that time. They took control of Taiwan, and now ROC is only that island of Taiwan. Okay, and the mainland China is PRC. So that's the thing. And you see, everything is written here. I have told you everything regarding that, because this history may be asked. It's a very important thing and area to discuss. On the map they may ask you a lot of questions. Now the next news is regarding the Shola forests, okay, which are losing their territory because exotic species are invading in these areas, and consistently for the last 4 decades they are having some kind of big changes in these vegetations, because these exotic species like pine, acacia, eucalyptus, they are surviving in harsh conditions, and they are more able to survive in the area. So they are crowding out these existing vegetations, original vegetations, okay, endemic vegetations which are there in the Shola forest. What are Shola forests? These are in these valley areas, on these slopes of these mountains. These are tropical montane forests, Shola forests. Okay, have a look at this. These are Shola forests, and they are separated by these simple grasslands, and these are Shola forests, and these are very beautiful and scenic places. And in the southern western Ghat area, these are located in the state of Tamil Nadu and Kerala and all. Okay, so these are tropical and subtropical montane forest. Subtropical, why? Because according to height, same impact comes as we move towards higher latitudes. As move towards subtropical latitudes, the same changes can be seen according to the height. So if they are present in the mountain area, so that is almost a subtropical conditions here. Okay, so that's the thing. And these are green meadows, and the Palni Hills, Nilgiri North, Mukurthi National Park and Araviculam National Park, these are mainly hit area by these invasions, and that's the thing. A lot of questions are being asked from this area because a lot of invasive species were asked. 2 years back there was a question regarding the Sima Irolai. I think that was the very greatly invasive species, and that was devastating the area. So that's the thing. Now next news is regarding China building advanced warship for Pak. There is a pact that they will build 4 these Navy ships. So they may ask you the name. 05054A is the best frigate in service with the PLA Navy, People's Liberation Army, the China's Liberation Navy, China's Navy, and they are giving it to Pakistan. I don't know how they are affording it, but that's a reality. Next, starting with the editorials, GST shortfall. Government, when they presented the budget, they set a target, monthly target of more than 1 lakh crore revenue from the GST. But now it is, after 8 months, on an average, it is only 96,800 crores rupees collection, and only 3 months are left for the next fiscal year and this fiscal year, and they need an average of 1,34,900 crores, and that is totally impossible because this is the election year then, and they are announcing a lot of GST rate cuts, and they are bringing a lot of things in the lower slabs, so there would be less collection, GST collection. So they need to maintain a lot of things. They need to broaden this tax base, and they need to see that how they can improve this revenue, because it is having a loss, because already it is the norm that for the first 5 years they will compensate all these states also for their GST implementation losses. So they are also getting their compensation, demanding their compensation. So central government is under immense pressure out of these fund crunches, because it's a shortfall in the expected revenue. So that's the thing. And now next, again one important addition was here, that a relaxation in the GST norms for micro, small and medium enterprises. They are giving these relaxations, and by raising the annual sales threshold for compulsory GST registration from 20 lakh to 50 lakh, it means the people who are having sales less than 50 lakhs rupees, they don't need to mandatorily register themselves with the GST authorities. Okay, so they don't need to pay GST and all, but it was only 20 lakh earlier. Now it has come to 50 lakh. So more people will be having the benefit of GST non-payments. Okay, so that's the thing, and that is how they are targeting the election year. These big population they are targeting, so that these people are not totally miffed with the government, because already they are badly hit by the demonetization and the GST implementation. So that's the thing, that's the scenario. Next article and one important news, they are both combined, both are similar issues. Religious nationalism and aggressiveness in the religion, that is totally a kind of a very bizarre thing for the country like this, which started its journey of civilization first in this world. It was the source of knowledge for this world. It showed that peace is very, very important, and truth triumphs, and there is no place for hatred and differences and all. All differences come towards diversity. Diversity is a positive word. Okay, diversity and difference, these are two words. This is a positive word, this is a negative word. When diversity is being converted into difference, then it becomes a huge problem, and that is being done in the religious scenario of India. You see, 2 young women, they entered the premises in the temple, and after that it became a huge issue. They needed to shut down the temple, and the whole the process of purification went by. I don't know how they contacted Lord Ayappa and how they confirmed this thing, that this has become pure now. The purification process is over now. It's a huge thing to discuss, but they are doing it as their traditions are very, very important in this country. Logic is not important in this country, but traditions are important. So that's why I said in a humorous manner that world was about to end when they entered, but priests saved humanity by doing purification rituals. This happened, and you see, if we discuss this article, what is written here, they are saying these are two important words, Hinduism and Hindutva. These are two different things. But these politicians, they are trying to equalize these things. They are interpreting these things in a similar way. They are putting these things as a same thing, but they are different things. Hinduism was the real idea of India, real idea of Sanatana Dharma, where Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam was the idea, where whole world was a same thing, whole world's population was a single entity, and they all were counted as equals. But now the Hindutva issue, that is talking about the other, imagining the other. What is other? Means if you subscribe to the original ethos, original ideology of Hinduism, then it is okay, you are complying. If you are not subscribing to that, if you are from some other religion, then you are the other. Okay, so the concept of other was originated in the Hindutva ideology, and whatever politics is running in this country, that is totally based on this Hindutva ideology. Soft Hindutva, hard Hindutva, but it is not Hinduism, because Hinduism was not a religion. Hinduism was a way of life. And many people may say that it's offensive, very much offensive. I'm very sorry about that, but that is the truth, because in our religion the tolerance was the main thing. What Lord Rama said, he never said that put aggressive postures, or you show Lord Hanuman as a very much haunting picture on the glasses, mirrors of the cars and all these vehicles or something like that. Nobody said like that, because God was never a scary entity. God was the supporting entity. How it can be scary? But they made it scary just to use this thing in politics, just to provoke the majority who is following the religion. If this would have been the situation in India, that majority would have been from some other religion, not Hinduism, then certainly those people would have been talking against the Hinduism. But today they are talking with the name of Hinduism, becoming the contractor of this religion, and they are saying that in Hinduism is an immense threat. Just to get votes, they are spreading all these ideologies, all these things. And the original Hinduism that was established, that was given the recognition by this world, it was Swami Vivekananda's ideology, where he began to speak. It was the religious ideas of Hindus, but when he ended, Hinduism had been created. This was said by Sister Nivedita when this World Religion Conference happened in Chicago in 1890s. Okay, 93 was the year, I think. At that time, he gave consistently 3 days speech on the our ideology, our learning, our ancient methods, and so great this country was. You cannot imagine what rubbish they are doing it, what they are ruining our way of life. They are ruining Hinduism. The politicians today, they are ruining our way of everything, because you see, we discovered gravity 2-3,000 years back, but world knew about it when Newton came, and a lot of great minds, Aryabhatta and all these dramatists like Kalidas, when he wrote Abhigyan Shakuntalam, Europeans were not aware about this. They were saying that Shakespeare is the only person who is the greatest dramatist of all time. But when they read the Abhigyan Shakuntalam, they were totally amazed. They were speechless what to say, because he was way greater than any other person in the world. So India was that kind of country. India was showing the path to this world, and so great this country, it was showing the reality. Because if you believe on something, if you say that my religion or my thinking or my ideology is good, then certainly you must have confidence about that. What is the point of shouting about it? What is the point of threatening something or somebody out of your stand, out of your posture? What is the reason? There is no need. If you are confident about it, the truth will triumph. Satyamev Jayate. That our ideology, that our learning of thousands of years of these seers that they have told, they have established in our philosophies. They told us that Satya will triumph. So what is the fear now? If you say that our culture, our tradition is the best tradition in the world, then what is the need? Automatically people will be attracted towards this. You are actually ruining this religion, you are actually ruining this culture. In this whole world, you are ruining the image. Whatever we had to bear in the medieval times, we were attacked, and that was the main ideology that you are putting forward now. That aggressive postures and our tradition is important, our religion is important. That was the thing that we experienced. That was the bad experience, and after that, the phase that came, that brought us way back in the civilization race, and no scientific development happened in the medieval times in India, and India became a backward country out of those experiences that you are repeating. You are taking us back towards those times. So that is the main debate of religion today. Okay, so that is totally an intolerant idea, and intolerance is never a basic idea of our the way we discuss about the basic feature of the constitution. So it is never the basic feature of our learning, our Indian system, that we practice for thousands of years. Our philosophies were so wide, so diverse. We discuss the Jainism here, which is very extreme, which says that even you die but you don't hurt any other person. Okay, Buddhism was talking about the middle path, and Charvak's philosophy was talking on totally materialistic line, that there is no start, there is no end. Once you are dead, you are dead, you are nothing. Okay, so you just enjoy in your life, or enjoy all the materials, or all the physical positive feelings and all these whatever we say, the great experiences, okay, pleasures, all you enjoy all of them and stay away from the pain. That is the ultimate aim of the life. So a greatly materialistic philosophy what West follows. Okay, that was our idea in the Charvak philosophy. Even that we said that it's a part of our Darshan Shastra. One of the orthodox schools was that. Okay, so it was also a way of life. It is said about the Indian philosophical system that it is based on life system. It is not a subject. As a subject, people were studying in the Europe, in the Greek system. Their philosophies were discussed as a subject, but here it was the way of life. So that means so diverse we were. There was no we were not appreciating differences, we were appreciating diversity. Diversity is a positive word. If I say that these are 7 colors, these are beautiful colors, these are beautiful flowers, these are diversities. Okay, this word should not be monotonous. If all the flowers are becoming red, then what is the beauty? There is no beauty left. That is the diversity. If I say that I like white flower, I don't like red flower, just pick all these red flowers and destroy them, then what is the meaning? So that means that you are being a totally negative person, and you want this word to be a monotonous word, and you don't even know about what is going to happen after that. If your ideology is applied, what is going to happen after that? So that it is that path. Okay, you are converting diversity into difference. So it's a negative approach. So that is the dreaded theory. And for the diverse country like India, you see the genetic diversity here. We cannot give evidence about the religions and all these things, but we can certainly give evidence about the genetic diversities. Just a second. So this is not the way. You are imagining, you are talking about the other. Other was not the idea in the original Hinduism. Vivekananda's Hinduism had no enemy figure, but you are saying that some people are following this religion, and the other people were not discussed in the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Okay, that was the main basic feature of our Hinduism system. But now you are saying that some people are threatening Hinduism, some people are ruling us, some people want to dominate us. So that means you are accepting this thing that there are other people. So that is totally against our original idea. So that's the thing, and that's why these rubbish claims, rubbish rhetorics, rubbish discourses, speeches, they came out in the public domain by the ministers when they say that just recite the Hanuman Chalisa and the monkeys will left the place, they will not hurt you. So funny, so bizarre these things are, the way they are fooling India's populations. Okay, and this way they are actually promoting a very, very hated environment and a negative environment. You just imagine about the situation, the psychological development of the minds of the young people who are in the age group of 10 to the adolescent, 10 to 19 age group. Okay, you just imagine what kind of minds are being developed, in what way they are going to behave in the future. Leave about the adults, leave about the kids, you just talk about this age group, what they are learning today, the kind of environment, the kind of way they are learning of life, that is very, very dangerous. So that's the thing. So that's why it's a interpretation of this article, and we need to understand the difference between this Hindutva ideology that is based on political lines and the Hinduism that is the original idea of us. And when they are trying to equate these politicians, then certainly they are trying to hide a lot of issues. They are trying to provocate the populations on the religious lines and all these dividing lines. So that's the thing. Next article is regarding the South Asian integration. Integration is in the energy flows area. Why? Because it was the original idea when SARC and all these institutions, they were developed, these organizations were established. At that time, it was a huge bounce, huge energy was there in all the countries to make this region, South Asian region, a great entity, a cooperative entity where things are flowing freely, trade, transport, and the energy flows, these all are very much smooth. But after that, the China intervention that happened, and we tried to shift our ways in some regulatory lines. So first things were going very much smooth. We were having a lot of agreements with the border countries like Nepal, Bhutan, which are having enormous amount of hydroelectricity capacity, and that may help because we have enormous demand of this energy, and these are cheap energy available in these countries. These are surplus countries in the energy production, hydroelectricity production, because they are the hill countries, so they have enormous capacity, so they may help us, and that is going to be a huge income source for these countries. Otherwise they don't have much income source. So that's the thing. So now the new guidelines that have come again after 2 years pressure from Bhutan and Nepal like countries and Bangladesh like countries, when they said that remove these barriers. Okay, so it's a rare and recent example of political pragmatism, and this should be the reality. This way we should go in the region. That's why we are going to become the leader of this area. Already we are a very big economy, very big nation, but our way, our attitude is putting us behind. Okay, so we need to be collaborative, we need to give respect to these countries, and we need to pay heed to their demands and all. So now we are bringing new guidelines where these things would be a reality, and not only because it leads South Asian electricity trade progressive direction, but it's also concession to India's neighbors in the area of political and economic importance. So we are going to give importance to these countries, and then certainly they are going to recognize as a leader of this region, because they all know China, what kind of country China is, but it is about the capacity. That is the country which can only help. Okay, India cannot help investment wise that much, because India is not comparable to China today in the investment capacities and all. So that's why these countries are moving towards China, but China factor is very much troublesome for these countries. India used to be a very peaceful country and it doesn't interfere much, but this time you see for the last 2 years we have we had some changes where we put some regulatory mechanisms where we allowed our Indian exporters, generators who are working in these countries like Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh, where we said that only our Indian generators would be allowed to export these electricity and all. But now these barriers are removed out of these pressures, and India signaled that it is serious about working with neighbors on the issue that should undergird 21st century South Asian regionalism. Okay, so that's the idea. And the apotheosis means the peak time came when in 14 with the signing of the SARC framework agreement for energy cooperation and the India-Nepal power trade agreement with quick succession. That was the very happy time, but after that China intervention happened, and reaction to that interference of China and attitude of these countries, we put a lot of regulations. Guidelines prevented anyone other than Indian generators. So that's the thing, and slew of major restrictions followed. But after 2 years we are relaxing all these things, and Indian buyers monopoly in the region actually gave its ultimate leverage. Why? Because India is having huge market, we have huge demand for electricity, and if we are targeting the green energy, the renewable energy targets, then also these countries, they may help a lot, because they are having enormous capacity, as I told you, of these eco-friendly technologies of hydroelectricity and all. If you talk about Sri Lanka, it is very much efficient in the wind power generation, and the countries like Bangladesh, they are also needing an excess energy and all. So that's why India can be a great enabler if it allows all these things, all these cooperations. Apart from that, BBIN corridor and trans South Asian highways and all these things are on the plate, and they are going on as a progressive measures, but the follow-up is very, very important. And here that's why they say it's a rare and very much pragmatic political intervention by India, and allowing these things, it is going to make us a great and true leader. and there will be resolution of issues. Okay, whatever issues we have with Nepal, whatever issues we have with Bhutan and Bangladesh, Teesta River Agreement 50-50 arrangement is proposed, and it is near to its verdict now. It is not settled till now, but hopefully, because the Sheikh Hasina government is very much in collaboration with India, so that's why this thing looks positive and possible. So these are the regional issues that are very, very important for us, because these are immediate neighbors to us. Okay, and India is having a great market, so that demand, its monopoly is working, and out of this pressure also we have allowed these things. Okay, green energy, you can see here the Bhutan country that is very much efficient in the hydroelectricity generation and all, and a lot of countries, a lot of rivers and streamlets, the Kali river, the Karnali river, this is Kali, Karnali, and here the Kosi river, Gandak river, Kosi river, they are coming from these areas. They are having enormous capacity of hydroelectricity generations. If we are somewhat deficient in the solar energy, then the hydroelectricity can help us a lot. Okay, it was dreamt 2-3 years back when our Minister Piyush Goyal was saying that I was dreaming that someday would come where Sri Lanka is generating the wind energy and Pakistan is using that energy. So that kind of cooperation should be there in this region, but that is not possible. But right now, whatever new guidelines that have come, that has brought this thing into reality. So that's why that's an important thing. Next article is regarding the deterrence or danger. It is regarding the INS Arihan, that is the nuclear submarine that we have indigenously developed, and this is how our nuclear triad is completed. Means military on the ground and navy in the seas and missiles in the air. All three areas are covered. We are efficient in the nuclear power. We can attack anybody, but we are having a no first use policy. But the article is saying something just opposite. They are saying that this race is totally unwanted and it is not going to be useful. It is destructive, because if there is going to be any attack in this world, anywhere, nuclear attack, then it is going to be total devastation, because all countries are capable, and certainly nobody would keep quiet. The way Americans got away with their bombing in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 in August, after in the World War II, they got away anyhow, because that time it was the only country who was very much confident, efficient and powerful. But today all countries are having their own egos, own capacities. Even Pakistan says that we don't subscribe to the no first use policy. We may attack if we feel strangulated. Certainly we will attack India or any other country. So that's the thing. That's a kind of a scenario that is developed. So in this scenario, it is not possible that there would be any use of the nuclear weapons. If this happens, then you cannot stop the destruction, because no country would put their stockpile at one place. They all will be strategically located in different areas. If you are attacking some city, then submarine launchers would launch their nuclear weapons, or the air missiles would be launching their weapons. So that's the thing that you cannot manage. Okay, and at once or suddenly this thing is not going to start. Suddenly there will not be any nuclear attack. So at that time there would be strategies, and all these managements would be possible for all the countries. So that means ultimately you cannot control any country by your nuclear attack with a single shot. Okay, you will bear the retaliatory shot again in the response. So that's how this is going to be an ultimate streak of destruction, and world would be devastated. So that's why they say that there is no meaning to follow this US policy of nuclear triad and something like that, because they started this idea, and now it is of no use, because this world has come far advanced ways, and now today this thing is totally unimaginable that there would be any war and nuclear weapons would be used. So when something is like death, then what is the use of testing it? That's the thing. Okay, we should not test the poison. So that's the thing. So we should not come into this nuclear race. So that's the idea. Regarding the coastline regulation zone notification has come new as a new measure, because 2 years back they came as coastal regulation 1, 2, 3, and these zonation of this area happened. Okay, the coastal area. Regarding these marine national parks and protected areas, they put all these areas in coastal regulation zone 1, and the coastal communities, the villages and the urban areas, they were put into the coastal zone 2 and 3. Now for the rural areas, coastal regulation zone 3 is there, and the urban areas, coastal regulation zone 2 is there. In the rural areas, they are they are adding a provision of zone 3A, where some relaxations would be there. It is all about relaxing some standards, relaxing some restrictions, where some settlements, some constructions would be allowed. It was totally banned when these regulation zone notifications came 2 years back, but now they are thinking that it is not possible, because density of population is huge, and it's enormous pressure, and we cannot afford, because somewhere we need to settle these people. So we need to relax all these areas, and some restrictions certainly would be there, and central ministry would be allowed to authorize any kind of plan in coastal regulation zone 1, and the 12 nautical miles are territorial waters, because till 12 nautical miles from the shoreline we are having territorial waters, we are having our territory, all kinds of rights are there for us. After that, till 200 nautical miles, that is exclusive economic zone, okay, where our commercial extraction and mining and all these are allowed, okay. So that's the thing. So regarding that, till this territorial waters, Central Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change would be authorized, that would be having the power. And for the coastal regulation zone 2 and 3, state governments would be allowed, they would be approving these proposals, okay, they will having the power. So that's the thing, these are the new changes, they are relaxing these things, so that some kind of construction, some kind of extra things will be allowed. But there is opposition, because certainly these relaxations would bring some kind of pressure on the coastal communities and the coastal the marine species. They are distracted by lights and all these things. And you see there is low tide and high tide regions. High tide regions, when these tide comes, okay, and when there is huge amount of water gushing into the land part, then high tide line means it is penetrating more inside the land zone, and low tide means it is more closer to the ocean. So low tide zone is here, high tide zone is here, if we consider this as a land part, okay, this is land and this is ocean. So high tide zone will be till here. So just in the close vicinity to this, within 10-meter area, there would be toilets, shacks and changing rooms for the tourists would be constructed, and that would be allowed. So you can imagine if sometime, because this is very close, 10 meters is not a huge distance to cover for the tsunami wave, it can be devastating. So putting these relaxations, giving these liberties can be devastating in the future, okay. Imagine in a situation when you are relaxing in this area, and high tide zone area, it is these toilets and these are constructed within 10 meters of the area. And you see India, there is corruption, and there are settlements, so they will reach up to this area, and someday the tsunami would come and all will die in that. So that's the issue with that. And the marine species, their protection and their disturbances is a different thing. So all these things I have completed. Now I am concluding the lesson now, and please give your suggestion. If you want the information, then we will continue that with this time limit, or otherwise I would control and limit this lesson within 40 minutes time. Vocabulary, all these words are important. So MCQ, answer these MCQs and put them into comment section. And this is the main answer writing. I am giving you a big question today for the 500 words, and it is based on the religious overtones, and the overtures are inclinations, are aggressiveness, are protectionism, conservatism. It is related to that idea. So comment on that. And thanks a lot. Keep watching. Whatever trouble you face in my teaching, then please put in the comment section, and I am trying my best. I will try to improve with every lesson. This is just starting, and it's a huge confusion for me also, because a lot of things are there to discuss. A lot of things are very, very important from the exam point of view, but time is limited. And I understand this thing that you people cannot devote much time, but this thing should be solved. And please give your suggestions from your final suggestions now, because yesterday it was my first session, and today I'm discussing this thing with you, the issue that I'm having, the thought I have in my mind. But you please clarify the situation. What do you want from me? Okay, thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani.